Bethesda's median home price hit $1.4 million. That's 198% higher than the national average. But here's the part most people miss. Homes still sell in just 46 days. After 20 years in DC real estate, I can tell you the professionals moving here are making smart, calculated decisions. They understand the full picture in a way most people don't, until they see it for themselves. So today, I'm breaking down exactly what you're really buying for that price. And at the end, I'll compare it to other suburbs so you can see where the real differences are. Let's dig in. First, here's what most people get wrong about Bethesda's price tag. They think you're just paying for a suburb. You're not. You're paying for a job ecosystem that exists in maybe 3 places in the whole country. Bethesda has some of the biggest employers in the whole area. The National Institute of Health is right here, hiring thousands of researchers, scientists, and doctors. We're talking about one of the world's top medical research centers, and it's in your neighborhood. And Walter Reed National Military Medical Center is also here, bringing even more healthcare and research jobs. But it gets even better. The Bethesda area also has the headquarters for big companies like Marriott International and Lockheed Martin. And if you're curious about real estate prices and how they beat other suburbs in value, I'll cover that in just a minute. Now, this isn't just a place where people leave for work in the morning and come back at night. It's a real job hub with some of the highest paying jobs around. Montgomery County, where Bethesda is located, has the highest average weekly wage in Maryland at $2,051 as of first quarter of 2025. That's over $106,000 a year. The national average is only $1,589 per week. So you're making 29% more than most people in the country. That's huge for earning potential and overall quality of life. I know what you're thinking. What if your job is in DC? Here's where Bethesda's location is a total game changer. The Bethesda Metro station on the Red Line gives you direct access to downtown DC. No transfers, no confusing routes. You can easily get from Farragut North, Metro Center, or Union Station. The commute is simple, reliable, and way easier than from places further out. Plus, the Purple Line is going to connect the Bethesda's Metro station with servicing starting late in 2027. This new east-west transit line will make it even easier to get to more jobs in the region without making your commute longer. Now, the job scene in Montgomery County is also impressive. With 458,300 jobs, it's the biggest job center in Maryland. So, choosing to live in Bethesda doesn't limit you. It actually opens up more opportunities because so many companies want to be here, close to talent, the federal agencies, and all the innovation happening in the life sciences corridor. All right, job access is great, but here's where Bethesda does something almost no other suburb can. It gives you city-level walkability without any of the city trade-offs. Downtown Bethesda has a walk score of 98. That's considered a walker's paradise, which means you can run most errands without needing a car. So you get the space and peace of the suburbs with yards and quiet streets. But you also get the walkability people usually go to for cities. It's a huge difference from most other suburban areas. Now, the heart of all of this is Bethesda Row. This mixed-use area at the intersection of Bethesda Avenue and Elm Street is where all the action is. We're talking restaurants that could easily belong in Georgetown or Logan Circle. Mon Ami Gabi, for example, brings the French bistro vibe with amazing patio seating. The Salt Line serves up New England-style seafood that people come from all over to enjoy. Aventino, from the team behind DC's The Red Hen, has Roman-inspired dishes that have been getting major attention since it opened. But this isn't just a small selection. Bethesda has over 200 restaurants. You could eat out every week for almost 4 years and still not hit the same spot twice. That variety is incredible. You've got Raku for Asian fusion, Hawkers for Asian street food, Planta for upscale plant-based dining, and Matchbox for pizza. The food scene here rivals anything you'd find in the city. And speaking of variety, I'll compare Bethesda to other suburbs so you can see what really makes it stand out. I'll get there in a bit. But it doesn't stop at food. Bethesda Row also has an Apple Store, Lululemon, Reformation, and boutiques like Anina Bing and Veronica Beard. You've got Levain Bakery with cookies that are actually famous, Georgetown Cupcake, and Dolcezza Gelato. Plus, there's a landmark theater showing you indie films you won't find at your average movie theater. And if you're into fitness, Equinox Gym is right there with all the premium options. And then there's Capitol Crescent Trail, This alone is worth the price of admission for a lot of people. This 11-mile paved trail is the most popular in Montgomery County, and it runs right through Bethesda. It stretches all the way from Georgetown in DC to Bethesda, giving you a car-free route to run, bike, or just take a walk. The trail is 10 feet wide, well-maintained, and has the perfect escape without leaving the area. And it only gets better. As part of the Purple Line project, they're completing the connection between Bethesda and Silver Spring, with the new section expected to be open by spring. That means more trails, more ways to get around, and more chances to enjoy the outdoors without the hassle of traffic. So yeah, the vibe in Bethesda is something special. People say it's like having neighborhood roots with a global feel. You get that community vibe where you run into neighbors at the farmer's market or see familiar faces at the coffee shop. But you also get culture, sophistication, great dining, and entertainment that keeps things exciting. And here's the thing about the community. With places like NIH and Walter Reed National Medical, the area is full of driven, successful professionals. There's a strong sense of brainpower, but it never feels snobby. People are friendly, grounded, and really care about their neighborhood. Which brings us to the next point. If you're thinking long-term about raising kids, this part is probably the biggest factor in deciding if Bethesda is right for you. Montgomery County Public Schools is consistently ranked amongst the top school districts in the whole country. Not just Maryland, not just the region, but the entire nation. And the school assignment is based on your address. No lottery system, no guessing, no worrying about whether your kid will get into top-rated school. You know exactly where your child will go based on where you live. And that certainty is great for families. Every single one of the 25 high schools in Montgomery County made it onto the U.S. News and World Report 2025 Best High Schools list. That's the kind of excellence you're investing in when you move to Bethesda. And speaking of investing, in a bit, I'll share the real estate prices you've been waiting to hear about. But first, let me give you more specifics about the high schools in the Bethesda area, because the rankings are impressive. Walt Whitman High School ranks number 2 in Maryland and number 130th nationally. Walter Johnson High School is 14th in Maryland and 820 nationally. Bethesda Cherry Chase High School ranks 20th in Maryland and 917th nationally. But these rankings aren't just based on random factors. We're talking about college readiness, graduate rates, and performance on state assessments. These schools are setting up kids for success at the highest levels, and the results really show it. So, your kids will have access to advanced placement courses, incredible extracurricular activities, and competitive sports and arts programs that are on par with what you find at a private school. The facilities are modern, the teachers are experienced and dedicated, and the student bodies are diverse and accomplished. But the community aspect goes beyond just schools. Bethesda has that true long-term resident vibe. People don't just move here for a couple of years and leave. They plant roots, invest in a community, and stick around for decades. You'll see multi-generational families with parents who grew up here choosing to raise their own kids in the same neighborhoods. And community events really bring people together. The Bethesda Arts and Entertainment District hosts performances, exhibits, and cultural events that keep the arts scene alive. The area has the perfect balance. You can enjoy a sophisticated night out at a wine bar or bring the kids to a family-friendly festival on the weekend. All right, let's talk about the numbers everyone's been waiting for and why it's not as crazy as it seems once you break down the math. So here's the deal with the numbers. The median sale price in Bethesda hit $1.4 million, which shows the market is still growing even with these higher prices. The median price per square foot is $446, and homes are spending about 46 days on the market, which is up by 10 days compared to last year. The market is somewhat competitive, with homes receiving an average of 3 offers. Now, here's the context you need. That $1.4 million median price is 198% higher than the national median. So why are people still willing to pay this premium? Let me explain. When you're earning those Montgomery County wages we talked about earlier, that home price is much more manageable. You're not stretching your budget like you would on a national average salary. You're buying in a place where your earning potential aligns with the housing costs. But it's more than just affordability. You're buying into a lifestyle you can't find anywhere else in the region. Where else can you get these job opportunities within walking distance? These schools, this downtown vibe, this level of walkability, and direct metro access, all in one place. Think about what you're getting for that investment. You're in a community where property values have consistently gone up over time. The fundamentals are solid. The job market is strong, the schools are top-notch, the amenities keep improving, and the demand isn't slowing down anytime soon. And here's where something else worth considering. The housing stock in Bethesda is super diverse. You got everything from condos and townhomes in the more urban areas near Bethesda Row, to single-family homes with yards in quieter neighborhoods, to larger estates in places like Edgemore. There is something for every lifestyle and budget, even in this premium market. So the investment really makes sense when you compare it to the other options. Renting in DC at a similar level of quality costs a lot, and you're not building equity. Moving to an affordable suburb means longer commutes, fewer amenities, and maybe even sacrificing on schools. Bethesda gives you the whole package, and that's why people are willing to pay for it. But now, let me show you how Bethesda stacks up against other top suburbs professionals, because this really shows what makes it stand out. Arlington is probably Bethesda's biggest competitor. It has that urban vibe, great metro, access via multiple lines, and is super close to DC. The job market is solid with all of the defense contractors and Amazon HQ to their right. But here's the catch. Arlington doesn't have the same level of downtown walkability or the variety of nearly 200 restaurants you find in Bethesda. The schools are good, but they don't match the district-wide excellence of Montgomery County Public Schools. And honestly, Arlington can feel more transient with younger professionals constantly moving in and out. Bethesda, on the other hand, has a more established, multi-generational community feel. Now, McLean is another suburb that attracts high earners. It has beautiful homes, wealthy residents, and is close to Tyson's Corner for shopping and offices. But McLean is highly car-dependent, lacking a cohesive, walkable downtown district. Metro access is limited to the Silver Line at one station, so you're dealing with more driving, more traffic, and less of that seamless urban-suburban mix that makes Bethesda unique. Silver Spring, which borders Bethesda, has its own vibrant downtown and tends to be more affordable. But the schools feeding Silver Spring neighborhoods don't rank as highly, and you don't have the same concentration of high-paying professional jobs headquartered in Bethesda. Silver Spring is great with growing walkability thanks to the upcoming Purple Line connection, but it's just not Bethesda. Here's the bottom line. Bethesda wins for professionals because it doesn't make you compromise. You get suburban space, top-rated schools for your family, urban amenities, walkability, great dining, and culture that keeps life exciting. Job opportunities are right here, the commute to DC is easy, and the community is full of accomplished, engaged people who make Bethesda feel special. The competition's real. Every suburb has something great to offer, but when you line them up and look at what matters to most professionals, Bethesda keeps coming out on top. And that's not just talk. It's the real experience of thousands of people who compared their options and decided this is where they want to be. My take, if you're early in your career and trying to keep your monthly payment low, Bethesda might not be the right move just yet. But if you're at a point where your time is worth more than saving a few thousand on mortgage, and you want the next 15 years to feel smooth instead of stressful, this is where the investment pays off. If Bethesda sounds like it could fit where you are in life, let's get into the details. Email me at hello@coalitionpg.com today, and I'll show you what's actually available right now, which neighborhoods fit your priorities, and what the real numbers look like for your situation. But before you go, check out the next video I've linked below. I break down the DC suburbs that are growing fast and why. You'll find out how Bethesda stacks up against other suburbs on the factors that really matter. Because if Bethesda isn't the right fit, one of these might be. Let's make sure you're looking at the right place first. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.